Hello, I welcome you once more again to my channel. Today we are the resource session slash the tech session of my YouTube channel. We're looking at formative website, how we can able to create a class, create assignment, and how we can able to assign the assignments to our students. So you go to the browser and you just type app.formative.com. I believe even if your school haven't actually buy this app, they have a free stuff that you can able to. So that takes me to the formative, and here now you want to create a class. You see the tip over here, home, formatives, class, report, library, and all that. So you go to, I have already created some classes here, but if you want to start, you just go and then here you go to class, then you just create the class name, you pick one of the color, you select an icon, and then the grade and the subject, and then you go. Since I have the classes already here, let me pick one of it. So once you create a class, then you have to get a student in there. So you could see this plus, you see like a photo of a human being here, you see the plus, you go over there, and then they will give you a link. You copy this and you can post it in your Google Classroom so that the student can join. And you can also type the student name and then create a username and a password for them. But this is the simplest way. The class code is a last slash over here. This is a class code. Now and then they will be still asking them to enter the class code. And that's the class code right there. I don't know how they make it this way. It used to be they have the class code and then the link. Now they have joined everything together. So now let's go to the formative. So once you click in your formative, you have to able to create the assignment. But as you're creating an assignment, we have various semesters. So make sure you can create a folder. So as you come here and you're inside your class, this folder has to be, it works like a Microsoft. So this is a folder that you can able to create and call it whatever, like say algebra 2 quarter 3. This is your big folder maybe for quarter 3, and then you add it here. So this becomes the algebra 2 quarter 3. So this is like a folder, and as you click it, this is where you can able to create the assignment. So you click, these are the assignment here. So if you want to create a new assignment, you click this one for you to create your assignment. If you have a PDF, which is already you have saved it on your computer, you want to make it a little bit interactive, this is the option. But normally if you want to set questions, you use the first one here to set your questions. Let's go back to the formative since I have a lot of them here. So inside here, this is my statistics quarter 2. Click it, you see that I have a lot of assignment already created here. And as you're creating the questions, you can change it to make it whatever that you want. So let me use one of the stuff here that I have already done. You can edit it, you can do whatever that you want to do with it. So for instance, this question was a multiple choice. If I want to change it to make it a short answer, you can just come here and change it to whatever that you want. If you want to make it matching, multiple choice, multiple selection, there's more than one answer to that. You can change this one back. They have a bunch of a short answer. You can also do that. Okay, so you type your multiple choice here and you select the right answer. But this one will not appear to the student when they go in there. They will see it they won't see the right answer. And then inside here, you can click show your answer. It doesn't mean that they have to necessarily show their answer, but this give them a space, so that in case they want to write, and some of the students, they love it, they would like to write something, and that give them the opportunity to do that. Or if you have already solved the question, you can solve whatever you type it here. Maybe you want to explain something to them, type it here. Then the student, once they come here, like you want to solve it so that they will see the right way of doing it, you attach this one. Once they open it, they can able to see the right way of how you are expecting them to solve it. So this is also a very good style that you can able to do. So here you see it stays over here. So once they are over there, they can refer to that, or they can also use it to do their work. This randomize order, that means you want to randomize the multiple choices once they log in and they are doing the work. Now let's go to the important tab. So here, once you set a question, you have to assign it. You see, these are the various classes that I have, but they are not doing this. They were not supposed to do this, so I didn't assign to them. But for instance, if I want to assign it to this class, you just click this plus. So you go to the assignment, you click this plus, and then I want to assign it to these students. There are 23 in that class, and you can assign to this student. So you click OK, or you can copy this and post it in your Google Classroom so that once they click, it can take them right to that particular assignment that you want them to do. Okay, so let's come back here. So here I could see that I have assigned it to them, but nobody have touched it. So here I can open it. I can make adjustment. It's open. I can close it. So now when I come back here, it's closed. Go to adjust. You can open it back again. And now when I come here, it's open. All right. And now I can also unassign. Maybe you did it by mistake. You can unassign. So unassign, and you click unassign. So now it's no more here. And look at this assignment. 18 students have already done it. Maybe I want to unassign so that they cannot even go back and look at the questions, because some of them can open the question and then they can see all the questions and then show a friend or something like that. So we can, if it is more sensitive assignment, we can unsign it, and then so that even later on they cannot log back in to read the question or show a friend or a sibling or so ever. So I can unassign this one. So I go here, unassign, and here, halas, it's gone. So when a student who have already taken go back to see, hey, let me go show my sister, my brother the questions, who have no more access to the questions whatsoever. That doesn't mean that it's gone. No, you haven't lose it. It's still there. So I can come back here and sign it. Click OK. I go back. Boom, it's back here so that I can see my results. So you haven't lose it, but unassign, it takes off from the student's reader so they can't go back to show the questions or whatsoever. All right. Now let's look at how we can able to make this exams or the quiz or whatever more secure. We want to beef up a little bit integrity of it. We don't want them to try to share the answers. What we could do is that we can let them take it in the secure browser mode. And this is what we did, but there was some kind of issue, because if we are going to do that, then the IT department have to upload some app that will able to help them to take it in the secure environment. If they haven't done so, their iPads will not allow them to do that. So we have to be very careful with that. Before we can use this, the IT department have to install the app on all the students' iPads so that we can able to do this. But even if they haven't done that, what we could do to make it a little more secure so that the student cannot share the answers is that here, when we are assigning it to them, all that we have to do is that we will select this, display each item as a separate page, so that when they log in, they can see only one question at a time. Okay, we don't stop right there. Here, we are also going to click that. The questions have to be in the random. So whatever question this person is on is going to be different, and they are seeing only one question at a time. So it will make it a little hard for them to, discuss the questions. So this is also an option. Then here too, I realized that a lot of people were having trouble with this securing the timing. So this one too, there was an issue with it. So for now, if you're not really you are not in tune into that, I suggest you don't use it, because I don't know the issue. I realize that some of them, they did schedule the exams and there was a lot of issue with that. I don't know if the timing is going to pick from the student iPad, and if the settings is over there, the timing setting is not right, it might create a little issue. So until you become more expert into that, I believe, then don't use this one. But you can schedule when the exam have to be open and when it's supposed to close. But as for the time limit, yes, you can do that, because once the student log in, then it's going to have that specific time limit. So you can select 60 minutes, or if you want other different time, you can go to the customize and then you type whatever, 45, and then that becomes that. Okay, so after submission, you have an option that do you want the student to able to edit the question. So for instance, when assigning the MSTAT practices to the students, you could see that when I come over here, I leave it as they can able to edit it, because this is just a practice. They are practicing to become better. Allow them to edit it. They can, if they select A and A is wrong, it will allow them to select another option until they see the right answer, and then they will know, oh, okay, so this is how you're supposed to do to get the right answer. So it depends when you're supposed to allow them to edit and when you not. Okay, so here, if it is in the case of the benchmark, we are not supposed to allow them, so no edit. This option, the one. Okay, and then return the results. So here, if you don't want to create any anxiety, if it is a quiz or a test or whatever, you don't want to create anxiety, just leave it like, don't allow them, don't show the result. Later on, the next day or the next 2 days or whatsoever, then you can come back and then you say that now they can able to see the results, and they can go back and see the results where they got it wrong or where they got it right. Or if you think that, hey, seeing the results will not create any anxiety for the student, then you click here. After they are done, they submit it, halas, then they can able to also see their results right away. All right, so let's also talk a little bit about within the assignment. Schools, the internet might not be all that up to date. Sometimes it's on and off, or some of the students, for some no reason, maybe a day they cannot log in into formative or whatsoever, then you have to have a little hard copy. So you have to print some of them. That's what I do. I print about 5 or 7 or paper copies, which is a hard copies. So you want to print, and you're printing as a blank formative. This here, no responses or whatsoever. So you print this one and make sure you print it as PDF, okay? And then you can change here depending how you want it. So here you could see the questions here, go through, make sure everything is visible to you. So if it seems the right way that you want, then you go ahead and then you print it like you print. Okay, you can also change it to the landscape if that is how you want it. So make sure you go through to check. Sometimes the questions are not clear to you, especially when you snip it, but you can go back in case questions are not looking clear to you. You can go back and fix it. So here, if everything is like good, you can go ahead and then and print the questions. And here you can also save it on your computer as a PDF file. In case you want to show it to the whole class for you to discuss, you can also save it on your computer as such. Let me go back here. So this question, for instance, I snip it somewhere. You see, normally when you paste it, it look like this. You have to make it bigger. Okay, so if it is like this, like you do it this way and you don't enlarge it, let's go to the print. We click this. Let's look at the question. So here, you see, it's really tiny over here. Check before you print it. This is not looking good. So you have to go back and then you have to expand it. If it is online, it's not an issue because the student can also expand it by themselves. But if you're going to print it, you have to be able to expand it to make it look readable to every student. Awesome. So now let's go back to the responses. So when we go back to the responses, here I can bring up the names that I have hide the names. So you can hide, and then here you see which question number most of the students got it wrong. So you could see that question number 5, for some weird reason they were getting it wrong, and this is question number 5. So you can click it to see that, oh, this is question number 5, they were getting it wrong, and maybe that's something that you can touch base on it. And then when it comes to, in case you have added the standard to your questions, the standard, you have to do it one by one. I did it one by one. So here you can click this so that they will group it. So the standard 2, the standard 2, it was about 5 questions for standard 2, and then the standard 1, that was any questions, standard 4, and then standard 3. So you could see which standard they did not perform well. So here I see that the standard 4, they did not perform well on standard 4. And talking of standard, you can add it before or after. So here you come back to the individual questions, and then this is where you add the standard. So if you want to add the standard, you just click here and it takes you to the standards. Then you just click it and then it will add. So that's how you add a standard. All right, one more. For instance, let's look at this MSTAT here. If I go to the questions and I want the student to do it by themselves, but you want to attach a video, you can just go anywhere, like YouTube or any website, and then copy the link and then attach it to the individual question that you want to attach it. And then the student, once they are in there, they can click and go over there and look at the material, and then that can able to help them to do self-teaching, and then they can come back and answer the question. So that's how you can also add help link. The next thing that we're going to talk about, when you are assigning the question for the quizzes and tests and the benchmark and the final exams, is going to be the student pays. But the teacher pays is whereby maybe you want to have a discussion with the students, you want them to move with you, so you click the teacher pays. So once you are in question number 1, everybody is going to be in question number 1. You see their responses, everybody is getting it right. Then you click to the next question, and then if you realize, oh, question number 3 or so, they are not getting it, that's where maybe you can pause and then explain it to them, and then you move along with that. So that's the difference between the teacher pays and the student pays. All right, so let's look at the last stuff that we need to talk about. How can you share with the colleague in case you're more than one teacher teaching the subject and you want to share? So for instance, as you go to this assignment, I have already created it. Then you go to these 3 dots here, click, and then you click share. Once you click share, here one of the teacher created it and share with me. But since the teacher gave me access to edit and assign, I'm able to share with somebody else. So you just add the email of the teacher. If you are in my school, then you have to use the dubai.org Google email address, or you can also copy the link. So once you copy the link, everybody that gets the copy can able to edit and assign to his or her students. But you can also select maybe assign only. Here the reason why I cannot do this because I'm not the owner. But the owner, if I'm the one created it, I can able to give access to assign, so you can't make any changes to the questions. That's how you can share with a colleague. And once you do that, let's go back here. How would you able to see that you have shared with somebody? So you see this connecting dots here. This tells you that you're sharing with somebody. It's not you alone. So here you could see that the benchmark I share with some teachers. So you click it, and then first you will see the teachers that you did share with them. Okay. So the same thing here, you see the 3 dots. That tells you that you have shared with somebody. Here, there's no connecting dots here. So that means you haven't shared with anybody. So that's how you can able to also collaborate and share with your colleague in case you have the same subject for teaching and you want to get their feedback and their contribution. Thank you very much for visiting my channel today. Please, if today is your first time, go ahead and subscribe. like the video and hit notification bell. See you in the next video. Bye bye.